Hisham Tawfiq, Minister of Public Business Sector, attended the conference to launch the electric car Nasr E70, which is scheduled to start production in the middle of next year at the NOS Company for the Automotive Industry of the holding company for the Metallurgical Industries, one of the companies of the Ministry of Public Business Sector. The Ministry of Public Business Sector stated that from July 1st, 2021, the electric car will be tested on the Egyptian streets as 13 cars were imported for testing. The Ministry of Public Business Sector added that the ministry has started studying the electric car production project since mid-2019 and in light of the directives of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi towards the localization of the vehicle industry that uses clean energy. Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Prime Minister, met with Dr. Issam bin Said, Minister of State and member of the Saudi Cabinet, and Ambassador Osama Naqli, Saudi Arabia's ambassador to Egypt and the kingdom's permanent representative to the League of Arab States. Ambassador Nader Saad, spokesman for the presidency of the Council of Ministers, said that this meeting comes within the framework of efforts to push and increase investments between the two countries and to enhance trade exchange, with the aim of investing the momentum in Egyptian-Saudi relations achieved by the important meeting that brought together President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Prince Mohammed bin Salman and witnessed a consensus of visions on many issues, confirming the keenness of the two sides to develop joint relations. For his part, the Saudi minister pointed to the importance of this visit that he is making to Egypt, as it is based on a real desire to push Saudi investments in a number of countries, especially Egypt, according to a clear methodology, thus encouraging Saudi businessmen to enter the Egyptian market in several sectors and promoting their investments in the Egyptian market. Minister of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities Dr. Asim Ghazar witnessed the ceremonial completion of the concrete works in the iconic tower in the new administrative capital, which is the highest tower in Africa with a height of about 400 meters. During his speech at the celebration, Dr. Asim Ghazar said, "Today we celebrate and document different stages of the growth and development of the Egyptian state," stressing that under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the implementation of a large number of development projects has started in different parts of Egypt, and we are continuing. We will take confident steps during the coming period in achieving greater growth in the housing sector, which is a locomotive for the Egyptian economy. The Ministry of Housing added, "Today we are witnessing the fruit of cooperation between Egypt and China, and the Central Business District project in the new administrative capital will be a new sign to be added to the record of Egyptian builders and their cooperation with sister countries to bring and consolidate modern technologies in construction sciences and to translate this cooperation into continuous forms of development projects throughout the Egyptian state." The Central Bank announced the decision of the Monetary Policy Committee at its last meeting to fix the interest on deposit and lending for the fifth time in a row to match market expectations. The Central Bank kept its average interest rate at 8.25% on deposits and 9.25% on lending. Bankers and analysts attributed their expectations to the Central Bank will fix interest for the fifth time to an expected rise in the inflation rate gradually as of last May due to the impact of the base year on the numbers, the increase in global commodity prices, the rise in the prices of raw materials, and the high prices of fruits and vegetables in the summer season. Dr. Sohab Bahgat, the official spokesman for the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, said that the decision to adopt Cairo Airport on the QR code on PCR analyzers instead of the laboratory seal in a very great and joyful decision, and it will benefit tourism a lot, and this is better for the country and tourists, stressing that this reassures tourists that whoever has a certificate, it is original and not forged. Regarding the summer initiative, Bahget said in a telephone interview that the My Chetty in Egypt initiative includes a 50% reduction in the value of travel through domestic flights, pointing out that this initiative also includes offers and reduced prices for Egyptian visitors commensurate with different incomes. The official spokesman for the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities added that the advertising campaign includes propaganda, films, and social media advertising explaining that the ticket price can range from £1,500 to £2,000 round trip. Naji Farag, advisor to the Minister of Supply for Gold Industry Affairs, said that Egypt produces gold bars and gold works with capacities comparable to gold production in all countries of the world. Nagy added that Egypt has been rich in gold since the days of Tutankhamun, and this appears in the amount of gold archaeological discoveries found. And Nagy Farag continued, with the directives of President Sisi, several gold mines were opened, and the Sukari mine is one of the 10 largest mines in the world and has a strategic stock of 12 million ounces of gold. At a time when the countries of the world are suffering the repercussions of the third wave of the coronavirus and preparing for the fourth wave, a number of analysts and experts have warned of a looming inflation wave with rising food prices globally and high oil prices, which pushes transportation and travel prices to rise. A few days ago, specialists warned of a global economic crisis soon, or in 2023, due to the possible negative effects of inflation. The U.S. Federal Reserve's plan not to tighten monetary policy and continue stimulus amid rising inflation could cause massive recession and trigger a series of financial distress around the world, particularly in emerging markets. But most Wall Street workers support the Federal Reserve's view that the current inflationary pressures are not permanent, which is prompting central banks around the world to watch prices in preparation for interest rate decisions. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said her country is on the right path to a robust recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and urged lawmakers to address the long-term problems hurting the economy. Yellen said she came to her post in January hoping to help Americans get to the other side of the crisis, thanks to the Congress and its passage of the American Rescue Plan. I think we are on our way towards that goal, she said, referring to the pandemic relief bill that allocated $1.9 trillion and was implemented in March. A gas pipeline that will extend for 5,660 kilometers between Nigeria and Morocco, and this pipeline will pass through Benin, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania. It will be constructed in several stages to meet the growing needs for the countries in which it will cross to reach Europe during the next 25 years. This project was announced in December 2016 during a visit by the King of Morocco to Abuja, where he met Mohamed Buhari, in a marked improvement in relations between the two countries. The feasibility studies were launched in May 2017. What is the economic strategic feasibility of this project for Morocco? Will this project harm Algerian interests? especially since Algeria is the largest exporter of oil and gas to Europe. We're back again to Money Means Business, and with our guest, Mr. Ahmed Badr, tourism expert. Welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're going to give us the latest news about tourism, what's happening in the field of tourism, before delving into details, but, in a nutshell.
Well, I have to say I come with some positive news. First of all, as the vaccination of COVID-19 is spreading more and more around the country and around the world, there are some countries that started to reopen after they closed down. Many countries, especially in Europe, they almost totally closed down. It was a total lockdown. Now they started to open up again and move forward. So that means they started to have tourists and to let their citizens travel. So nowadays we are witnessing in Egypt growing again in the tourism, and the tourists coming from abroad, especially from the Arab region, from Gulf region. From Saudi, from Emirates, Kuwait, all the Gulf countries, as they already had many of their citizens got vaccinated. So they allowed their citizens who got the 2 shots of the vaccine to start travel again. So we are witnessing now a growing numbers in tourists coming from this area, and you can see it especially in the hotels.
Yeah.
Until now, all the hotels are to run just 50% of their maximum capacity. So with this 50%, they are running 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So that means half the hotels they are allowed to have business in, it's already full. So this is very good news. The rates of the rooms are started to go up again because we're having a big demand, and still the supply is not yet full. I mean, it's not 100%, just 50%. So this is very good. Also, tourists from Russia are to return soon.
Yeah.
With the Russian government announced the charter flights to fly again to Red Sea area. I mean, Hurghada, Sharm, and Marsa Alam. So Russian business was one of the main incoming tourism to Egypt, with before I wouldn't say before the corona, but before the incident, the Russian plane in 2015.
Yeah.
We had almost 6 million tourists from Russia itself. Mm-hmm. So out of almost 13 million total tourists to Egypt. So that will give you an idea about their from their business coming from Russia. I would say maybe by October we will have them back again. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of time until they start selling again, and until they reschedule the flights again to Egypt. But now at least we're having the regular flights between Egypt and Russia, between Cairo and Moscow. Mm-hmm. And from some other countries, some other cities around Russia. So that's why we also witnessed many tourists came from Russia on these regular flights. Still, of course, the main bulk of the business travel on charter flights. And today, the deputy of the Russian Minister of Culture, she was here, and the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, they arranged for a tour for her to the pyramids and to the Museum of Egyptian Civilization, which is becoming a main attraction for everybody coming from Egypt, and even for Egyptians themselves after the amazing Golden Parade last April, which I believe if we didn't have this pandemic, this event was to boom
It
and
transcended the
boost.
souls, actually. It was amazing.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
beyond amazing and beyond
yes.
spiritual, really, that was something out of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We even have letters and emails and calls from our friends all over the world, and from travel agents all over the world. They were, some of them were really crying out of joy
True.
and happiness.
Yes.
Really crying.
Yes, yes.
And we want to go, and you are great. What's this? Especially the ISIS song was definitely touched our hearts, all our hearts. That
True.
was
True.
a brilliant idea, and I hope it will be done again, maybe an event under the pyramids or at one of the temples in Luxor or Aswan, to do something like that. Now we are having
But then we still,
an
we're
Egyptian-
going to have this, big, the jam, this is,
Exactly.
this is,
This will-
magnanimous.
Exactly. This is an event the whole world is looking for, and I'm sure it will be even better than the Golden Parade. So now we are having things that we can use to do events. Instead of having Opera Aida, we can do Opera Isis. And
Something Egyptian, actually.
it's totally Egyptian.
Yes,
It's totally,
yes.
for the people to go and listen to the Egyptian
Hymns and songs and
language. Exactly, yes.
yeah, let me just add, I'm not really interrupting, we can go on this line of
Sure.
thought, but then something I noticed, and many actually, not only me, not so many, there could be copies of the Egyptian jewelry, ancient Egyptian jewelry, in any other country.
Yes.
But then what happens is there is a certain soul, the ones that are made, especially the cartouche, for example, where Nefertiti's figurine, or, those, pendants, when they are made, they're not, when I look at them right away, these are not Egyptians. They're not Egyptian at all. They don't look Egyptian. They don't look, like the Nefertiti we know, and not like her bust. Whatever is made, of the jewelry, it's totally doesn't have the soul. What's made here, what's done here has the soul. So this was like 100 Egyptian% organized,
Yes.
and that was amazing. Other, things were just, for the handball and Super Bowl and all these things, other events, were just organized by Egyptian and some, kind of other companies from abroad. It was not the same amazing thing, but as it's totally Egyptian. Organized and all the ones taking part are Egyptians. That was really something else that was pure, and it pure those of like spiritual, as if the spirits of the ancient Egyptians came back.
Yes.
And they just were really there present.
Yes, like you said, it's the soul of
Yeah.
it. So as long as we're doing it, we're having the soul, the Egyptian taste. It's just 100% Egyptian taste. Even during the Golden Parade, if you look to the details,
Yeah.
there are so many details that I figured out later, like the 9 girls or the 7 girls, I don't remember the exact number, were going out of the Egyptian museum at the first. That symbolized something in ancient Egypt. Even the horses at the Museum of the Egyptian Civilization,
Yeah.
when the royal mummies was going in front of them, the horses bowed.
Yes, bow down, which is
So
amazing.
it's
In
just,
respect.
yeah, it's respect. It's the small details. It's taking care of every
Every
single
minute detail.
That's what made that a world-class event.
Yeah.
This is how things are done. This is how we should do everything. World-class. We can do it. We proved we can do it.
Definitely.
And the beauty about it is everything was Egyptian. Everything. The whole arrangement of this event was Egyptian. And talking about events, such events in the whole world, countries are doing events like that. They create events, they create stories. It's something like Rio de Janeiro Carnival. Look at this carnival and see how many people they want to go and just be a part of it. So we have the history, we have stories, we can create such events. This will bring even more tourism to Egypt, something like a celebration with the Egyptian year, 11th of September of every year.
Yeah.
This year, I think it's the 6,230, I think. I got confused, but I'm sure it's 6,200 something. So why don't we have an event of celebration?
Marked, you know, like all the Egyptian events marked on
Exactly.
the calendar, and occasions to celebrate.
Celebrate and let the people come and celebrate with us. They can wear like ancient Egyptians, or let's be in a carnival for
Yes.
everybody, for
Yes.
Egyptians and for non-Egyptians.
Yes.
This will bring people from all over the world. We can do it in Luxor, we can do it in Cairo, we can do it in Aswan. Especially in September, it's not that yet a busy time of the year,
Yeah.
so we can make it
Yeah.
busy by having such events, and you will have hundreds of thousands of people that they will be so
They'll be
interested.
flocking, you know, coming here
Exactly.
to doing these events.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So these things are what we need, along with what we already have, to boost the to boost the tourism to Egypt again. And especially now, it's easy for travelers to come to Egypt many times. As we always say, one time you can come, it's cultural visit, the other it's a seaside visit, the third time you can go to the desert for a safari, the fourth time you can come to see the new cities that are being
Definitely.
built
Well,
right
now, you know, like exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You can come for an event like that. You can come for a concert, for world star that I hope it will return after this. We get rid of this.
The scare of the COVID-19 everywhere
exactly,
in the
yes.
world.
So we have many things to offer. Just needs the
We have
right
everything
marketing.
to offer, actually,
Yes.
I'd say.
Needs, yeah, exactly. Just need some good minds
Yeah.
and
How to manage those, you know, who manage, you know, this
Exactly.
great event can manage other events.
and
you know, or-
facilitate and make the visit easy and fun for everybody.
Yeah.
From the minute they step into the airport to the minute they step out of the airport, needs to be easy and fun visit. So there are many things that needs to be done to facilitate such things.
Well, hold the thought, you know, like we have a report, but we'll come back, you know, to how to do that, you know, not only one event, you know, other events, and a lot, you know, like especially that it all starts with Egypt, the start from the world, you know, like
Exactly.
those people can just say, we have civilization, it started from Egypt here, and it spread around the world, and, you know, as I just remember something, you know, you put there, you know, even, well, as we see, you know, the kings and queens of fashion, they always use ancient Egyptian fashion, and it's still, you know, this is the fashion that goes nowadays, and they say, you know, like Italian or French, but then the basis is from Egypt.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we'll go for a short break. After we should be coming back and we'll resume our talk. Stay tuned to us. Don't go away with this report.
In continuation of the promotional campaign in the Arab market, which was launched as of the first week of last May, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities is intensifying advertising campaigns in the Arab countries on the most important electronic platforms, on social networking sites, and the major search and reservation platforms. Ahmed Youssef, CEO of the Egyptian General Authority for Tourism Activation, pointed out that in light of the authority's interest in using modern promotional means, in light of the increase in the number of internet users in the world, the authority has replaced the traditional means of promoting the implementation of a digital advertising campaign on the most important social network sites and major Google search engines using advertising content. Attractive, specially produced for the Arab market, which includes short films, written content and video ads. Suzanne Mustafa, Director General of Planning and Follow-up and Head of the International Campaign at the authority, explained that this campaign was launched under the slogan, Egypt calls you, your holiday in Egypt, travel Egypt, and will extend for 2 months, noting that this campaign aims to invite Arab tourists to visit Egypt during the summer vacation season and Eid al-Adha. She added that the campaign aims to bring Egypt back into the minds of Arab tourists and attract them to visit it and focus on shedding light on the unique and diverse Egyptian product. It should be noted that the Arab market is one of the important tourist markets for Egyptian tourism, as it represented more than 20% of the incoming tourist movement to Egypt before the corona pandemic crisis. On the other hand, the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Egyptian General Authority for Tourism Activation, headed by Dr. Khaled Al-Anaini, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, discussed a number of issues related to mechanisms and proposals for promoting tourism to Egypt more in the coming period. Among the topics discussed was the agenda of the internal events and activities of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and those of the various ministries and governorates for the next 3 months to discuss the possibility of benefiting from them in promoting tourism to Egypt. The possibility of organizing a group of important events and activities throughout the year in a number of different tourist governorates to benefit from the returns in shedding light on the various tourist and archaeological components of Egypt was also discussed.
We're back again to My Name is Business, and we're still with our guest, Mr. Ahmed Badr. And again, we were talking about there are occasions that we can use. There are places, different places. There are, there is a lot of things, not only a lot of things. There is everything that Egypt can offer. But then, there are things that can be done to just make that easy and accessible to whoever wants to be part of it.
Exactly, easy and accessible. That's the key word.
Yeah.
If you look to a country like France or Spain, which are the two biggest touristic attracting countries in the world, with all due respect, they don't have half of what we got. But
they have a copy of but the glass, pyramid in the museum.
In the Louvre, yes.
Yeah.
And even the Place Concorde, it's with the famous Egyptian obelisk.
Yeah.
Anyway, the key for their France in 2019, they had 88 million tourists, incoming tourists, and Spain, I think they were about 70 million. It's easy access for the travelers to the country and inside the country. I mean, public transportation, ease of flights, different huge choices of flights from all over the world. It's even the airports. It's easy for anybody to travel and to go to the downtown of any city. They have trains, they have metro, they have taxis, they have limousine, they have helicopters. They have everything for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you're a millionaire, go for a helicopter. If you're just rich, go for a limousine. If you are, a normal tourist, you can go for a taxi or a bus or a train. This is what we are missing here, especially at Cairo Airport. Needs more attention in this area. It needs more discipline. It needs more system that is
Exactly,
implemented.
system that could be put in controlling all, if anything goes out of control, can be controlled.
Exactly. I'll talk about something very, very, very easy. It's taxis. If you're arriving to Cairo Airport, it's a chaos to find a taxi. I'm not happy to say that, but this is the truth. It's very easy, and I've seen it all over the world. You go, you have signs, taxis, you go.
Or shuttle,
Whatever.
bus they can take,
There are two lines, a line for the customers and a line for the taxis.
Yeah.
And somebody is standing just to make sure the system is going well. So you come, you go, it's just in front of the airport. You don't need to walk almost 1 kilo, it's almost 500 meters at least to reach your taxi with
the luggage.
And some of the travelers are heavy travelers. Out there, just you go in front of the terminal, you find your taxi, you go. It's just two lines. So you stand in line, and the lines go very, very quickly and very, very fast. So this is something we can do. Something also 2 days ago, the Ministry of Health asked for the PCR test for all people coming from abroad to have QR code, which is okay. I understand that.
So nothing comes fake, like those.
Exactly, fine. I understand that, but they said it will be implemented after 2 days.
Yeah.
So what if I'm already coming to Egypt in 2
And
days or
infected.
3 days, and I already got my PCR test, and I don't have time to do another one with QR code. Especially, I understood that not all the laboratories out, not all laboratories have this QR code. So at least you say 1 week from now. You don't come and say 2 days from now or tomorrow. This is here we need to have cooperation between the ministries and everybody who are responsible for that. It's a problem that sometimes somebody come with an idea which is okay. I'm okay with this just to make sure the PCR is correct and it's true, because some people they come with just a fake PCR.
Definitely.
It happened.
Yeah.
So it's our right to make sure that this PCR test is correct. But at least say 1 week from now. You don't come and say 2 days from now. By that, and I knew that there are some people who couldn't do this PCR test on time, so they just canceled their trip. And it's not a very good encouraging, and it's not good for Egypt. It's not a very good reputation for Egypt. So this is one of the things that I hope to see, the cooperation between everybody in every field, not just tourism, in every field, cooperation, not the what we called island. Everyone is his own island, working without connecting with the other islands. So if we want really to increase tourism to Egypt, and we can easily reach.
We should do the same things we did in the big thing, the minute things, the details should be taken care of that. Exactly.
Take the Golden Parade example, with taking care of all details and just implemented in the
daily
big
life.
picture. Daily life, yes. If you want to increase tourism to Egypt, you need to do the right marketing, which we are doing right now, especially with the recent campaign from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities in the Gulf area.
Yeah.
It's a campaign called Come to Egypt, and Egypt is calling you. And our brothers and sisters in the Gulf area, they were really going with this campaign, and that's why we are witnessing more and more tourism from this area. You need to encourage the investment in the tourism business, especially hotels, especially 2 and 3 stars hotels,
Yeah.
which are easier to do and the costless, and you can sell them fast. Some areas like downtown Cairo and downtown Alexandria, you can easily turn the old buildings
Yeah.
to hotels and motels, nice, easy, chic hotels
Yeah.
that everybody can use. You know,
Yeah.
people they want to
Something reasonable and nice.
exactly, which
Yeah.
are most of the hotels in Europe and America. They are 2 and
Yeah.
3 stars hotels. 5 stars hotels are very rare.
Yeah.
to
For
see.
those certain elite traveling, or some people who prefer, because you're not spending all your time in the hotel. Some people would like to
Exactly.
come all day long. They're out.
Some
they
people
come and
they just
sleep.
need a bed and a clean bed and a clean bathroom,
Exactly.
and they are out the rest of the day. So many things, it's easy, I think, with the countries now looking to 2030 and looking forward to growing the economy and encouraging investment. I think this can be, and I hope it will be done. This is something also we will need definitely in the new cities. It will not be just cities for Egyptians. We want also tourism and travelers to go. I'm sure people will love to come and see the new capital, the new Alamein, especially these two, Galala. Well, Galala, I think it's already a touristic attraction, but
Yeah.
especially new city and the new capital will be a center of attraction and will be a center for international events and concerts, and especially in both of them we have big amusement parks, something like Disneyland. So you need places for accommodation
Exactly.
and hotels
Exactly.
for the travelers to come. So you don't just
To the different categories, not only
exactly,
5 stars or 7 stars hotels.
all
instead. True.
starting from hotels, even youth hostels,
Yeah.
5 stars, 4 stars, everything. Not all travelers they can come and
And
afford.
pay, exactly.
No, they don't afford 5 stars. No, they don't. Most of the travelers they want 2 and 3 stars hotels.
Yeah.
And we have some hotels in Egypt that officially they are 5 stars, but they sell with 2 and 3 stars hotels rates,
Yeah.
which at the end it's not good at the end, because you invested for this hotel to be 5 stars, but
Yeah.
then you're selling with 2 and
3 stars. This is like a waste.
so at the end it will reflect the service
Yeah.
given to the clients, and you will give not up to the standard service, so
Exactly.
which will reflect bad
definitely on
to the
tourism
entire country.
industry. Well, let's say now we have 2 minutes to go. So
Really? Okay.
yeah. Now phew. So how do you see the coming period, especially that we're getting again now? Like we have started the influx of tourists bit by bit. From different countries that are interested in coming here.
Well, it was a good thing that the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Health they cooperated together in something to vaccinate the people working in travel business and tourism business. So they almost they finished vaccinating all the workers in the Red Sea area, which I see it's a very good step.
Yeah.
And I can see from what we are having from our markets outside that requests are back again, especially starting from September. People are very eager to travel, especially to Egypt. So I hope I can say, and I hope starting from October things will start to be back to
Rolling
normal.
back to normal.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Bad, for being with us. So it's a
Thank
pleasure
you very
having you.
much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
My pleasure. Thank
And
you.
I'd like to thank our viewers also being there. We'll see you again next week. As for now, God bless Egypt, God bless Egyptians, God bless our president, our army, our white army, our police, and as we quote from the Holy Quran, ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمنين. Enter Egypt, God willing, safe, and from the Holy Bible, Mubarak, Shabi Misr, blessed be Egypt, my people. I'm Nabin Nazim signing off. Bye for now. Thank you.